Is there anything, now that the Supreme Court has taken action, what's the next legal action that could be taken to give the states their rights back? Because the way I see this is the states' rights have just been ripped away from them on making these decisions. Because up until now, I don't know of any federal law that was there on the book concerning marriage, except for in the tax code. but it seems to me that was one of those issues that should have been diverted to the states. I know that was probably a strong argument made to the Supreme Court. Erin, what do we do is there anything the states can do to claim back their rights here?
Yes, I think to make sure that they have religious freedom protection. And also, I've read several different articles about civil disobedience. You know, when there's an unjust law, when there's a law that is in direct opposition to the natural law, to God's law, then, what is the requirement to follow it?
Right. And a matter of fact, I just called for my congregation to stand up in acts of civil disobedience against this law, not to partake or participate in any way with same-sex marriages. And
I think we'll have to harken back to the founding fathers when they said we pledge our treasure, our lives, our treasure, and our help me out, Mayor.
Sacred honor.
Sacred honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning, Erin. I reread your article that's posted on American Thinker June 5th called Truth, Marriage, and the American Constitution. And you talk about the fact that this isn't just a slippery slope, it's a bottomless pit. And I'm very concerned because we are quickly becoming a nation of anarchy. And I don't know that there's any law that can be passed when we have a lawless administration, a lawless judiciary. Yes. So I really liked your analogy about people who want to go bowling. I mean, their true marriage equality already exists, and that analogy about people going bowling was, I thought, very appropriate. You want to share that with the audience, please?
Well, in the article we discussed that, we drew the analogy to say that people who want to claim that marriage must include same-sex marriage are truly redefining what marriage is. And it would be as if someone wants to go bowling, but instead of bowling with, the ball and the pins, they want to do something completely different with completely different objects, and it's no longer bowling. So that was the analogy that's in the article.
Yeah, exactly. That's very well done. I would encourage everyone to read your article. It's a very thoughtful article. And you say that the marriage redefinition activists is what you call them. Marriage redefinition activists seek a self-indulgent form of inclusiveness that demands acceptance and support for a wide range of sexual conduct that society has no interest in supporting or obligation to support. And it doesn't just end with now one man, or two men, or two women, or one man, one woman. We've got polygamists now saying, well, why can't I have two wives? Well, why can't I have four husbands?
And polyamorism.
Yes, and that's happened. Yes. After the Supreme Court came down with this decision, the next thing that happened was a polygamist group went and they wanted to get married as well. And why couldn't they with what the Supreme Court said? The Supreme Court, and I'm sure that our founding fathers were rolling over in their graves, the Supreme Court had the audacity and the arrogance to come out and say that the history of marriage has been one of change.
Yeah.
No, for the millennia, it has not changed. Well, there's a very clear definition and purpose that it served in our society, and it wasn't one of change.
That's right. And, it's interesting because, of course, the marriage redefinition activists try to hearken to the racial issue, the civil rights issue, where Abraham Lincoln said, no matter what laws men place upon each other, the laws of God uphold first and foremost. All men are created equal as children of God. God loves us all.
Well, I think we can go this point. I've heard the argument about marriage being in constant changing. They go from, well, the first marriage was over a rib, then it went to, a goat and 2 cows, then it went to a license, and they keep showing all these changes. Then it was between black and white. One thing stayed constant through all these, what they call changes. Yeah. One thing stayed constant is marriage was always between a man and a woman. Yeah. Even in ancient history. Now, my area of expertise is in ancient Near East studies. I can tell you, if you go back in the history of marriage, it was always between one man and one woman. If they had more than one wife, they didn't even refer to the other wives as wives. They were concubines. Yeah. The main marriage was always first between the man and his first wife. Yeah. That was always the definition of marriage.
The thing that I think that a lot of people have forgotten is, you in this country with our system, it has always been that you had the right to almost do whatever you pleased to do, but you didn't have a right to change the definition of things. You didn't. You have the freedom to do just about anything, but you can't change the definition of marriage for everybody else because that's your desire. So I think we've forgotten that this country has always been about the freedom of the individual, and that's why this situation came about. But what has happened is that they've taken it from the individual and said, if you don't like what we're doing, we will fine you. We will even put you in jail at some point. It's got to be, because there's no other way to enforce this. And so we're talking about civil disobedience, and I believe to my heart that that's the way to go. But it looks like some hard times in advance. People better be willing to do like the Founding Fathers did in pledging their lives, their fortune, and their
sacred honor.
Yep.
Yes.
Erin, did you
no
see...
matter how hard it is, we always have to do what's right.
Yes.
And, people have been through far more trying times than what we're going through now. But we just must stand firm and not allow our souls to be tainted by this law.
We are coming to the end of the show. Is there a website or something that we can refer our listeners to so they can get more of your wisdom, such as the analogy to the bowling scene?
Oh, that was far too generous. Thank you. Please go to the Thomas More Law Center's website. Mm-hmm. It's Thomas More, More is MORE.org. And we do everything possible that we can in these cases. I know that we're going to be working on helping the couple in Oregon
that's
facing
great.
that treacherous fine, and anything that we can do to help people, especially when it comes to this issue. We work tireless hours, so there should be more information on the website, and there's going to be more information coming down as well.
Before you go, the couple in Oregon, what is it, the PayPal or the
GoFundMe, I think it's called.
I read somewhere that they had them shut down the GoFund account so they couldn't get donations from the public to help them assist in paying this monstrous fine.
That's not the first time that GoFundMe shut down a fund that was helping religious individuals. They also shut down a fund that was helping the owners of Memories Pizza in Indiana when they came out and said that they wouldn't serve pizzas to, all of the homosexual couples who want pizza served at their wedding receptions.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just awful what GoFundMe's done, and I think that there could possibly be a claim there that they're discriminating against people on the basis of religion, because there are laws in place that say that you can't do that, same as you can't do that for sexual orientation, except in the case of religion, it's in all 50 states.
Well, Erin, please don't be a stranger, and we hope we can get you back whenever you have something to report, especially on this case out in Oregon. And we certainly appreciate you taking the time to get up with us this morning and give us an update on what we can do to
Oh, thank you so much.
Erin, I just want to say, may the Lord's blessing be on you for all the hard work you do, and thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Erin.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. You too. God bless all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, folks, you heard it. This is where we stand today.
I just want to say that there's a lot of people out there that think this attack on the church is going to be the destruction of the church in America. I want them to remember the words of our Lord in Matthew. He says he is building his church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. With all the attacks that come against the American church, we as Christians stand strong, we stand in the faith, and we stand on what we know is scripturally right.
That's right. And I just want to ask the audience, how much power do you want to cede to this federal government?
Yes. And, here's the thing. A couple of years ago, I saw a report. I don't know if it was a couple of years, but there was a report that there were some people that were home churching, and they were shut down. I believe it was in Texas. This is the kind of thing that is absolutely scary. But we still need people to be able to exert their what their beliefs are. And I can tell you, you can look back and see how many times people have claimed different objections to certain things and have been protected in this. It appears to me that the way that they're planning to destroy religion and organized religion in this country is through this law.
Well, we have to remember that Jesus always warned us that the world would hate us for doing what is right. So we have to renew our resolve, be firm, and stand tall and shout loud.
Pastor Rick, thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you.
You have an open invitation anytime you want to come on.
You too, and Del, all have my continual prayers, and God bless all of you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Pastor.
Thanks a lot. See you next week, folks. Roundtable invites the Wham Talk 1600 listeners to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan, 48135.
Or follow Phil and Del at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.